gentlemen team. My name is Barrick, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to get a first look at your game and play around with it. I know it's still very early, so I won't be too hard on it. So far, from the concept video that I saw, I like the idea. It looks great. The game itself runs really well. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna play through it a little bit here and talk about some of the things that I see as far as bugs, which there's probably going to be a lot because I think this is still kind of a pre-alpha. Um, and yeah, let's get right into it. And that's my daughter. She's almost 3. She likes this game actually. I set up her Xbox 360 controller, so she just sits here and plays around. Not that one. She likes to be the astronaut. Yeah, she likes the astronaut guy who walks with the most swagger I have ever seen an astronaut walk with. I mean, he walks like he owns the moon. I think it's great. Alright, so yeah, I'm just going to get right into it here. The environment looks pretty good. The moon looks pretty decent. It's a good open environment. I don't know what these little guys are. They look like little default like characters that you guys might be working on. They look like the little default Unity objects. So I don't know what they do. As far as I can tell, they just kind of wander around. But yeah, and that's okay. That's pretty cool. I like the rover. The rover is really cool. I think it moves a little too fast though, and it's probably because, like I said, this is early, so you guys are working on stuff. But as far as realism goes, this is insanely fast for a rover. Like, I would say that probably slowing it all the way down to having its max speed at about, 5 miles per hour, maybe 10 miles per hour, is a lot more realistic. But it also depends on what you're going for, whether you're going for a realistic type thing or more of an arcadey type run around and have fun and stuff. The rover's a lot of fun to play with. When you crank him all the way up to 200 miles an hour, that's pretty fun to just slide around the whole the world here and go off into the distance. I did notice one thing on this far side over here. Apparently, you can drive off into space. So it looks like the world border's not quite set properly here, because I'm just kind of floating underneath the level now, and probably it looks like I'm just kind of falling off into nowhere. All right, we'll hit reset real quick. Not a big deal. Again, it's very early. The laser, that's really cool. I like that a lot. It does seem to have some definite issues with frame rate. Once if you hold the button down, it gets really laggy. Things really start to skip. Let's see, what else? The gravity beam, that's really cool. I really like that concept, and it's fun to play around with that, to take in and mine some stuff out of here and then suck it all up. And there's definitely some weird physics glitches when you do that. Like when you grab a whole bunch of stuff like this and then you drive into it, it can sometimes launch you like way off into nowhere. I've had it launch me all over the place, which that's kind of fun, but definitely I'm sure not intentional. Let's see. The spaceship, this thing is awesome. I really like this one. The whole being able to fly up and fly down and being able to grab stuff. I think it's a little too sensitive on the up and down motion. As you can see here on my mouse, I can it's practically slam into the ground. But I think its movement is pretty good, but not in comparison to the rest of the current speeds of objects and stuff like that. Like the rover can really go really fast, But this guy can only go this fast, which is feels painfully slow in comparison to all the rest of the vehicles. And let's see. So, Space Dude. Space Dude is awesome. My daughter loves Space Dude. That's another thing. If you switch characters while moving, then it retains that vehicle's velocity, and so if you're not careful, you can accidentally send your rover like there. You see off in the distance, he's climbing it. He's climbing a hill here, taking off, and there goes my other little rover. He's taking off into this distance too, all by himself. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's once you switch characters, the vehicle should probably stop. Otherwise, people are going to lose track of where their stuff is. So let's see. Yeah, this guy's pretty cool. I dig him a lot. Let me get back into him. There we go. Oh, and let's see. Where'd he go? A nice swaggering off into the distance. Okay, so yeah, he's pretty cool. The camera seems to zoom in like this. I don't know if that's intentional. I mean, it started off really distant, and now it's really zoomed in. And as far as I can tell, there's not a way to change that. Like, so that's a problem. Oh, I just sent my harvester off from distance. Hang on. There he stops. Okay. Let's see. Let's get back to the guy. Okay, so here's Mr. Dude. The controls say that that Mouse 3 is the jump jets. They sound weird. It sounds like they're rapidly tapping instead of being consistently pushed when I click my Mouse 3 button. So I don't know if that's a glitch or what. The other thing I've noticed about when you're flying around with this guy in his jump jet form is, he just kind of slowly drifts down, which is, that's good, and all fine and good, unless you're using the laser. Because if you're using the laser, it seems like he falls at a much, much faster pace, and I don't know if that's intentional or not, but that is something I've noticed. Let's see. Let me just reset because I have no idea where my vehicles are right now. Let's get back over to the rover. Here we go, and I will crank up his speed here, just for time-saving sake. And we're gonna fly, cruise right over to here. This sign, I don't know if that's supposed to look like that and get all like huge and massive, or if it's supposed to retain its general size, but there is that. I don't really know what the whole red, blue, green beams of light are, but they apparently react to physics, and they can really slap you around. Like if I cruise into here and do this, yeah. Well, yeah. In that case, it completely destroyed my rover. But yeah, he's broken. That's right. Yeah, like in the other, like, oops. Sorry, red guy. In the let's see. I think it's J, right? J turns off crash mode, or at least it does when you're doing the race. I don't know if that also works in the overworld or not. Let's see. So the objectives to indicators are pretty good, other than it being so massively huge, which again I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. The lava tube thing, I like that concept of driving into the lava tube. The rocks look the texture looks. It looks like a couch, I guess you could say. It definitely doesn't look like lava or a rocky structure, and it kind of feels like entering the bat cave here because there seems to be this kind of invisible barrier or door. But and once we go inside, the camera definitely has clipping issues with the lava tube, and as you can see, the surrounding environment also, where yeah, there's definite problems with the camera seeing through the world, and having it so that the camera has collision with the lava tube and stays inside the lava tube, like it would kind of, if I could, but I can't, like duck down here to follow along in the rover, or even force the camera to go into a first-person perspective when entering the lava tube. I think that would be a better way to go about that, and probably would be easier to handle from a camera collision perspective too. All right, so yeah, we can go in there. We can we can gather regolith with the magma beam. Gather stuff. We can I know you do the mining of the ore, which is good. As you can hear, whoa, there's the rover. When you switch characters and hang on a second, there we go. When you switch characters and the view changes, and it's still moving, the sound is stuck with your current character, so it can get really loud really quick with everything flying all at the same time and doing its thing. Alright, let's hit reset real quick just to calm that down. Alright, so we're going to go over to the rover racing area. That was the next area that I was exploring when I first loaded this up. And again, thank you for making a version of this that is windowed so that I can make this video for you. I really appreciate that. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and into rover racing. The user interface is kind of weird, but it's alpha, so I'm sure it's just placeholder stuff. I love the funky get down music of the racing area. I mean, it doesn't really fit with the theme, but it sure is fun. I do enjoy it a lot. Let's see. I love this song. This is a fantastic song. The one thing I will say about this game, is that you can. There's no explanation for what any of these necessarily do. So there's the engine, there's turning, laser, traction. I mean, laser and turning an engine, that's pretty straightforward. Traction, that's kind of straightforward. Suspension, I'm not quite sure. The magna beam. I guess the laser and the magna beam that increases its intensity. There doesn't seem to be a limit to what you can set this to. So I forget how high I set it to. The first time, I just kept pushing to see if there was a limit. And man, I was flying so fast I couldn't even hardly keep track of anything. So yeah, I'm just gonna hop into here. This is pretty fun. There's the little drones are good. Of course, I'm just gliding past the world here. I have not yet completed a lap, just because I end up messing around and playing with some other stuff, or sometimes I'll end up flung off into the walls, just because I'm going so fast. And again, in a lot of ways, that's my fault, just because I cranked up the engine level so high and all that stuff. And is that? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that yeah, let me just Tokyo drift it right through these checkpoints. I'm pretty sure that's Jabba the Hutt's palace. Seems like it. Kind of looks like it. Not that that's bad. It actually kind of cracked me up to see that here. Let's see. So we're gonna drive through here. Like I said, I haven't actually finished a lap or even necessarily a race in this yet. But so we're just gonna go through and do this. I'm gonna try and get a nice physics glitch going here. The racing AI seems kind of odd. At times they'll just stop, turn around, and go back to a checkpoint that it looked like they'd already passed through, but apparently didn't. So yeah, and I see that they kind of warp in front of the player, which is kind of annoying. See, like they just warp from across the map over to here. So I mean, I can understand them from a pathfinding thing if they get stuck or something to make it so that they warp, but maybe not warp halfway across the arena. Maybe warp to either the see, they kind of, I'm not sure what the heck they're doing. They got lost. But make it so that they warp to the next checkpoint or the previous checkpoint or something like that. Just because otherwise, it's kind of frustrating and not particular. It doesn't feel very fair from the player's perspective. It doesn't seem that it matters. Like it doesn't. There's not a first, second, third place apparently. At least as far as I can tell. But see, like now they're way ahead of me again, and I'm like, what the heck? Yeah. It's like Fast and the Furious over here. And apparently you can laser them, which is pretty cool. I get a kick out of that. Laser! I think he just missed a checkpoint. Maybe he'll turn around, maybe he won't. Doesn't look like he's gonna turn around. He's just cruising. He's just doing his thing. Let's see. Whoa! Hi guys! What's up? I'll just kind of, I think he just appeared inside the ground. Yeah, he did. He just teleported inside the ground over there. You can see him. He's freaking out there on the bottom left there. So yeah, I imagine that's not right. Alright, so. Yay! Press enter to return to main level. I have no idea what that is. Is that a laser beam? Is that a rocket ship that just took off? Because that just appeared. Like that was not here like a second ago. So I don't know what. That's cool. That like a rocket ship just took off or whatever. I like that. But I missed it because when I finished my lap, I ended up facing this direction rather than facing the direction of the launch. That's a bummer. There's a lot of explosions going on. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, that's a volcano. I didn't even know that there was a volcano in this. There we go. That's kind of cool. Let's see if I can. All right, now I gotta see what happens if I land inside. If I go into the volcano. Lava! Nothing! I just kind of fall into a hole, which is cool. That's fun. Not unexpected. Let me see if I can bounce myself out with the magma beam. Yep, there we go. Like I said, when you use the magna beam and then all of a sudden I'm like accelerating. I don't know why I'm suddenly accelerating, but then if you hit the wall while you're flying through the air like this, you get stuck, and there is no way to get back off of the wall. You are just stuck, and it's almost like it resets the ground to thinking that the ground is the wall rather than the ground, because you kind of do this whole like bouncing off of it, and like you can jump off of it and then you just reconnect back with it, and that's kind of weird. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've played so far. I definitely noticed. Oh, hold on, Rory. Hey, she's helping me play the game. Here you go. I got your controller there. All right, so. I haven't really messed around too much with like the harvesters yet. I'm not sure. I mean, because I see the harvester and it looks like I can use this harvester. Of course, I can take and grab stuff. Yeah, I can empty the payload with this. I can collect a bunch of stuff with it, with the harvester, and that's pretty cool. The harvester, it kind of looks like some of them are automated. They're just kind of they're kind of heading off on their own, which, you know, that's pretty cool too. Alright, so we got options, but I can barely see them. Hang on. How did I get into that menu? Okay, left click. I laser it to get into it. And then it goes away. Alright, hang on. Let me just. I can't seem to. And then I can't get back into it. I'm trying to command your harvester, but it doesn't seem to be working. Let me try. Okay, I can command this one. I can harvest, stop, home, and go to. It looks like. Yeah, that's those buttons are impossible to read. So you might want to make them darker, non-transparent. The blue and yellow combination is kind of hard on the eyes. So let's see what else we got. We got a lot of spacemen wandering around. I noticed one of the spacemen over here, next to the Voyager spacecraft, which is here, which is cool to see. I'm not sure what it's doing on the moon, but it's neat to see that. At least I think that's Voyager. You've got a couple spacemen here. They work, stress, social. They've got values. I don't know what those values are for. Like, I can't tell. Just lasering him makes him do a little spinning dance thing. He just gets his groove on. I'm guessing that that's probably some kind of mechanism you're working on to have them all wandering around and interacting in the game world. This thing is so loud. Let's pick something a little quieter. I have no idea what these green beacony things are. Are they supposed to be of alien origin? Are they? They almost look like they're objective things. Like I should be doing something with them, but I don't see anything to do with it. So I don't really know. Yeah. Pew! And you can send those little guys like way off into space if you hit them at the right angle. Let's see what else. Use the carryall to transport a harvester. Yeah, let's try that. I haven't done that yet. So I'm guessing a fly up here. Alright, let's. It looks like there's two different size harvesters, but maybe not. I guess they all are the same size. My size, like our this one, the controlled harvester, seems bigger than the others. Maybe it's not, but it sure seems like it is in scale. Let's see. Let's see if it is. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely bigger. Definitely bigger than the others. You know, and that's I guess a good way to distinguish it compared to the other ones. All right, so we pick up a harvester and we can fly him. I guess we'll fly him over here. Yeah, so in comparison to all the other vehicles, this thing just creeps along. So does the astronaut. But yeah, this thing is just, it's slow. It's so very slow. So I mean, it which is fine if you make it so that all the other vehicles have, you know, relatively equally slow speeds, which makes sense for the moon. It's the moon. You can't really go fast on the moon. The gravity is definitely too fast. I want to say it doesn't really feel like the moon, or at least my concept of the moon. When I think of the moon, I think of, you know, watching the spacemen, you know, bounce around and it almost like they're moving in slow motion. And it seems like the gravity in this is just slow, like too slow, if that makes sense. Laser the crap out of this rock, and I think that this thing's set up to the harvester. Shit, I don't know what the harvester's doing here. Did it pick up like one rock and then just take off? kind of looked that way. Okay, now that menu seemed to work pretty good. Like that menu stayed around for a while. Let's. Can I go to somewhere? I don't know what go to does because it doesn't look like I can set a location. Like I can't say, click here, click on it and say go to, and then click somewhere and have it go to a position. So when I say go to, I don't know what exactly that's commanding it to do. So yeah, I think that's just about all that is in this particular demo. Um, oh, one other comment I wanted to give is the world boundary. I mean, obviously you need a world boundary because you can't render the whole moon. But I would definitely consider making this a terrain that continues on and doesn't just end, but having not necessarily an invisible wall there, but probably something like a warning that says like leaving the mission area, turn back, or leaving, moving outside of communication range, something to that effect to keep the player within the game boundary, but that doesn't look so very harshly game boundary, because from up high, we're on a floating square of a moon rather than the moon itself. But yeah, like I said, I know this is very early alpha, so I'm sure you guys have lots and lots and lots and lots planned. You've got build mode, and I don't know what that does. I see that over there on the left. I haven't really messed with this yet, so we can control. We can move camera. Okay, that's weird. Okay, I'm pushing forward and backward, and it's moving the camera at a diagonal angle for some reason. That's disorienting. I don't much care for that. I'd rather have it just move in the direction that the camera is actually facing. So it should be moving like straight up instead of like it should be moving like this when I push up instead of moving in a diagonal thing. Love the discotheque. That's awesome. Let's see. We can zoom in. We can zoom out. We can scroll around. Again, the scrolling, it looks like it has the same weird diagonal movement, which is not great. Cancel movement, drag select units, so we can. I can't apparently drag select any of the existing units. It looks like. So let's just. Structures are coming soon. Okay. Yeah, once all the goals are met. Vehicles coming soon, structures coming soon, buildings coming. Okay, so basically nothing. This build mode does absolutely nothing, as far as I can tell. It's pointless. Alright. Yep. Yeah, so it seems like you're kind of adding like RTS type of gameplay to this. Which is fantastic. I like that a lot. Going around and being able to control individual units by, selecting the. Looks like the harvester is returning back to base finally. By selecting, I can pick. Okay, well, I want to be this guy. No, I don't want to be this guy. I want to be somebody else, which apparently is no longer working. What the? Okay, so apparently once you enter build mode and leave build mode, you are permanently Mr. Spaceman. You can't switch to any other vehicle. So that's definitely weird. And all right, menus there. And I lost my laser. Like I am now attached to. Every time I click, I'm attached to Harvester Charlie. So that's a problem. I don't know what's up with that, but that's another issue. Okay. So yeah, that's my initial review of this. I think it's a cool concept. I love the open worldness of it. I would say I'm not 100% sure what you were planning as far as the gameplay goes. There's a lot of cool things that I could see being done with this, with from an RTS perspective, with you know uh, having rival factions. I think was what you were saying, or rival companies or something. Rival explorers is what you were saying in your pitch video. I think that's a very cool thing. A very RTS type thing where you're competing with other things. I don't know if there's combat involved necessarily, but uh, the whole moving around and exploring and getting to resources quickly and harvesting those resources as quickly as you can. I don't think it necessarily needs to be combat. I think this an RTS based on less on combat and more on claiming, if you will, because this seems to be very mining focused for resources and things would be really neat. And to have it where you have a you're the you have to set down and you have to harvest the minerals that are near where you set down to build more base or to build more structures, which lets you expand outward and make claims on the surrounding resources that are further out. And meanwhile, the other enemies or your rivals are doing the same thing. And but instead of combat, it's all about who can build the most stuff first, who can manage their resources and stuff and the fastest and the best to be able to expand the quickest and lay as many claims to the resources and harvesting as you can. I mean, that'd be kind of a cool mode. I also love the sandbox nature of this demo. For a couple reasons. One, my daughter thinks it's fantastic. She, like I said, she's 3. She grabs my little Xbox controller. She loves little spaceman wandering around with him, and loves switch. She knows how to push the buttons and make them like shoot lasers and switch characters and she's got names for everything. Like, oh, doesn't look like I still can't. Even after resetting the game, I still can't switch characters for some reason. And I can't use my laser and magma beam. Okay. So, like, she's got names. She calls the harvester, the carryall, she calls that the monster, because it kind of looks like a monster from behind. She's got the big truck, which is the big harvester. She's got the little robot, which is this little rover, and the car, and the spaceman, and she loves to just wander around and explore and have fun with that. So I think that having a sandbox option mode where you can you don't have any rivals, it's just free build, free harvesting, the moon. That would be just kind of a fun, relaxing game mode that I think would do really well in this thing. So yeah, I'm definitely going to support you guys. Yeah, I think this is a really cool concept. I love the idea of blending, science, real world science with game worlds, and I love, moon exploration is something that there's not much is touched on. So I think that that's a great focus. This is a very entertaining game, and I'm looking forward to seeing what more you guys can do with it. So thank you again for giving me this opportunity, and next time you have a build with some new stuff, let me know. I'll be happy to take a look and review it. Thanks.